I want to ask you something before we even start today's video. Have you noticed yourself walking into a room and forgetting why? Losing the thread of a conversation? Reaching for a name that used to come instantly? Most people are told that's just aging. But in my years of practice, I've come to believe something different, that a handful of small, completely ordinary daily habits may be quietly working against your brain years before any diagnosis ever shows up. The encouraging part is this. Unlike your genetics, unlike your age, these habits are things you can change. And today, I'm going to walk you through 7 of the most common ones, and exactly how to reverse each one, starting this week. Quick and important note, I'm sharing general educational health information in this video. This is not a diagnosis, and it isn't a substitute for personalized medical advice. If you're noticing real changes in your memory or thinking, please talk to your own doctor. They know your health history, and that conversation matters more than anything you'll hear from me today. Stick with me, because habit number 2 is one almost nobody talks about, and it might be the one affecting you most right now. Before we get into the list, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, what time did you go to bed last night, and how would you describe your daily routine? Steady or all over the place? I read as many of these as I can, and it genuinely shapes what I cover in future videos. So take 10 seconds, drop it below, and let's get started. Number 7. Treating sleep as optional. Here's the simple science. While you sleep, your brain runs something like a nightly cleanup crew, a process that clears out metabolic waste that builds up during the day. When sleep is cut short, night after night, that cleanup falls behind, and it doesn't fully catch up on the weekend, no matter how much we'd like it to. The fix: protect a consistent 7 to 8 hour window, and try to wake at the same time every day, even on weekends. Consistency matters more than any single long night of sleep. Number 6. Sitting for long periods, especially without breaks. Movement isn't just about your heart or your waistline. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain and supports the growth of new neural connections. Extended stillness works against that. The fix: you don't need a gym membership. Standing up and walking for 2 to 3 minutes every hour has been shown to meaningfully offset the effects of prolonged sitting. Set a simple hourly reminder. Now, pay close attention to habit number 2. It's the one I see overlooked in almost every single patient I meet, and it may surprise you. Number 5. Replacing real conversation with passive scrolling. Genuine social interaction, actual back-and-forth conversation, keeps certain brain networks active in a way that passive screen time simply doesn't replicate. Isolation over time has been linked to faster cognitive decline in the research on aging and brain health. The fix: aim for one real engaged conversation a day. In person if possible, or a real phone call, not a text thread. An actual conversation where you're listening and responding. Number 4. Switching rapidly between phone, TV, and conversation, what I call attention fragmenting. Your brain's attention system wasn't built to juggle constant task switching. Doing it chronically can wear down your ability to focus and to encode new memories clearly, because information is never given the sustained attention it needs to actually stick. The fix: build in short windows of single tasking. Even 20 minutes of one thing at a time, phone away, one task. It's a small practice that rebuilds your attention like a muscle. Number 3. Living in a constant low-grade state of stress. When stress hormones like cortisol stay elevated for long periods, they can affect areas of the brain tied to memory and learning. This isn't about the stress of a hard day. It's about stress that never really switches off. The fix: a short daily practice, slow breathing, a quiet walk, even 5 minutes of stillness helps your nervous system come back down regularly, rather than staying elevated day after day. And here we are, number 2, the one I asked you to watch for. Untreated hearing loss forces the brain to work much harder just to process sound, pulling resources away from memory and thinking. It's one of the most under-recognized, modifiable factors connected to long-term cognitive health, and it's often dismissed as just getting older instead of something to actually address. If you've noticed yourself asking people to repeat themselves or turning the TV up more than you used to, get a hearing check. It's a simple appointment that protects far more than your hearing. And finally, number 1. A daily diet heavy in processed foods and added sugar. Your brain runs on a steady, stable fuel supply. Diets high in refined sugar and processed foods have been linked to more inflammation in the body. And inflammation is something researchers increasingly connect to brain aging. The fix: you don't need a perfect diet. Start by adding one more whole food to each meal. Vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats like olive oil or nuts. Small, steady swaps beat a complete overhaul you can't sustain. So here's the truth I want you to leave with today. None of these 7 habits are your fault, and none of them are permanent. Your brain has a remarkable ability to adapt when you give it the right conditions, often faster than people expect. You don't need to fix all 7 at once. Pick just one from today's list and commit to it this week. That's genuinely enough to start. If this video helped you see something in a new way, subscribe so you don't miss next week, where I'll be covering the 4 warning signs your body shows years before anything shows up on a test. Take care of yourself. You're worth the effort. I'll see you in the next one.